So you're probably wondering about Metal Gear Survive's single player. Does it even have single player? I mean, just jumping into the beta, you can see how different the game looks here compared to what we're used to with a normal Metal Gear game. But yes, there is actually a single player component to this game. I'm going to be talking a bit about that today. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to Open World Games, and we're talking about some Metal Gear Survive today, so let's dive into it. So, of course, you have your salvage missions in the game. These are missions where you go out, you collect your resources. You've probably seen these, you've probably played the beta, and yes, you can even do them, single player, or, of course, jump into a full co-op match and then choose between normal, easy, and hard difficulties. We're going to actually jump into one of these. Let's do, Deserted Mines while we talk about this game. But what about the story? What is the gist of the story with this game? Let's get into the deployment, guys. So the gist of the story with Metal Gear Survive is this. Basically, you're a soldier of the Big Boss Army and are sucked into, get this guys, a wormhole, but are dropped into a world where there's zombie-like creatures roaming around, and that's what you're going to be trying to survive in this game. You're going to be starting out in single player in a new world, basically weak, and you need both food and water to survive. This is a survival game when we're talking about single player, and what's pretty neat about the game, in my opinion, is that both the single player and co-op are pretty much joined together, and here we are in basically a co-op mission right now in single player, and what we have to do is take on waves of zombies. It's not ideal to go on higher difficulties, of course, against these zombies by yourself, so that is not ideal. But I do love how all of the resources from single player and multiplayer are carried over to one another. So if you want to beef up your resources and your weapons and your crafting and your soldier here for multiplayer, you can do that by playing single player, so it's all connected. Now, in single player, you will have a buddy named Reeves who will be guiding you along your way to survive. And he's going to basically be testing you and telling you about this new world that you're in. And what's really important about single player is you will have a base camp that you're going to be responsible for. You're going to be building up a base camp, and you'll be able to return to that as well. Customize your dude. Right now, we're collecting a bunch of steel. We're preparing for war. And I got this cool sledgehammer thing, as you can see it on my back. It's probably one of my favorite melee weapons. It's a little bit slower, but I think it's pretty cool. So you got to collect all these resources, of course. But, yeah, you're going to be working your way up to crafting better weapons, better gear, even bow and arrow, stuff like that. And, of course, defenses, which is super important. I don't know why I don't have fences. I really wanted to show you the fences. But, yeah, I'll show you this really fast. Let's see if I can find a zombie. So one thing you can craft, and this is probably my favorite defense, is this blade right here. See if we can get him to go into the blade. Oh, it didn't activate in time. So I love my M4. I prefer over the bow and arrow. That's just my preference, but it's loud. It is loud. And you can actually play pretty stealthy too. But also, be warned, as you can see I'm wearing a gas mask in single player especially. There's going to be a poisonous thick fog that lingers around, and you're going to have to navigate that with a gas mask on. You're going to have to upgrade that gas mask and be very, very careful. So, yeah, watch out for that. So, again, I do love how everything is connected between single player and multiplayer. I don't know if you guys are multiplayer fans or not, but it appears that there is some single player in this game. But the bad news about this game, and this is unfortunate, and this really sucks, is that the single player requires a constant online connection because of the link between co-op and single player. So they require you to be online at all times. Woo, we collected a bunch of resources just then. So be warned of that. Remember that. That really does suck. I'm going to admit it. And this is not going to be a game that everyone's going to like, of course. It's definitely a very, very different take on Metal Gear. But if you were wondering the gist of the story, that's it. You're basically a soldier in the Big Boss Army. You've been sucked into a wormhole, into a mysterious land. I think you're trying to make your way back to normalcy, but you're surviving with others that have also ended up in this hellscape, I guess you could say. But let me know what you think of the basis of the story. It sounds very different for sure. But guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more Metal Gear Survive and more open world gaming goodness. I will see you guys later and in more Metal Gear Survive.